I'm excited to do this.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like one of my with Curl Tester was my Jay Leno moment, and now I'm what's that guy name? That's oh my God, hold up.
American or
American, yeah, very very funny and dope American show. That guy that's always, you know.
There are so many.
I forgot his Letterman, David Letterman, for fuck's sake. This is my David Letterman. That was Jay Leno.
I know I have a beard now, but it's not gray yet.
No, but it's true. Like, this is my David Letterman moment. So nice. I'm excited.
So then let's get started. Juliana, with the Xero dilemmas. First one, a quick answer. Do you think we should optimize every page for every customer? So focus on everything what's happening, or should we just start with just pick one page, a single page? Let's keep it simple and optimize the hell out of that.
It depends. Nah. I mean, I guess it depends, of course, on the business model and, you know, what's your objectives. I really think that when it comes to optimization, you should really use a prioritization, framework, because there's a lot of things you can do, but it doesn't mean it's gonna be useful as well. I think, you know, like every time you want to optimize a page, you just have to drop 30 to 40 ideas there, because the shitty ones are usually the first ones. So the better ideas, you know, the better hypothesis happen after the 15th one, because you already regurgitated all the bad stuff. And then I think you should use a prioritization model and see what has the biggest impact and what are the things that can be easily, you know, implemented, and, you know, go for those. Of course, you can run A/B tests on everything and just, you know, say, oh my God, I'm optimizing. But I think it should mean something. So I wouldn't advise anyone to just try to do everything at once. In general, that's not a good idea.
So use an optimization model, and maybe sometimes the outcome will be it's just one page that you need to optimize. But okay.
Do user research.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next one. Should we use Xero or another term? Short answer. Short answer.
I think we can. Okay. I think the way we have built until this moment conversion optimization to be does not necessarily relate to the reality that we're living at the moment. So I don't think it's nothing wrong with the term conversion rate optimization or CRO. I just think we are probably using it for things that are not, and using it, you know, and using other terms for things that actually is CRO. But I like experimentation better, because experimentation encompasses, you know, more activities that you do to, you know, improve conversion rate, improve your user experience, customer lifetime value. But I like what Andre Morris said. It's like people that do conversion optimization are experimenters, and the ones, you know, like me, that do post-purchase are, you know, doing personalization. So it's just like, it's a combination of both. But yeah, like CRO probably doesn't fulfill the needs of the actual reality that we're living in right now. It's very polite, I know.
Third one, Bayesian or frequentist?
So I failed the Tan's course on A/B testing mastery like 4 times, his exam. I think frequentist
because of this, or
one of the reasons. Yeah. I still don't know what a COE is. Like, what's the actual MDE? But no, I mean, I think if you are just getting started into statistics, I think it's super hard to get good at it instantly. And I think it's easier to work with frequentists, because for Bayesian, you need computers, you need, you know, more depth and more, it's more intense than frequentist. Frequentist, I think, democratizes the statistics models a bit. I'm not saying it is better or wrong, but I think if you have to work with huge data sets, I think Bayesian is a better option, because you have enough computational power to, you know, to find out, to test your hypothesis. So that in a way, this is why I like Bayesian, because it also looks at your hypotheses and validates them. But I think if you want to just A/B test, then, you know, you just have to go with something that's easier to understand. Statistics are very hard. Very, very hard. And
pick the one that you can explain internally.
Yes, exactly. Because it's so hard. Like, imagine you have to go and explain p-value to a C-level executive that has no idea what you're talking about. I don't know. It's not like it's better or worse, but I think you have to use what fits better with your current, situation. Yeah.
Nice. And yeah, so you already mentioned the CXL courses. So you did a couple of those last couple of months. I mean, eat your own dog food, I guess. Which one was your? I'm curious. Which one was your favorite? The most eye-opening thing, and which one was the toughest? And I guess that one is from Ton, but maybe some others.
Statistically, the most difficult courses of CXL based on customer data are Tons, and the other one is Georgiev's course about A/B testing statistics. But I think Tan's course was great, but I had to take Pep's course on A/B testing to understand what Tan wanted to say, because Pep's was easier. It was like, okay, now I get what you're talking about. I think my favorite course was Tim Wilson's course about data visualization and presentation. I always did reports and I always, did visualizations, but I never thought about the cognitive load that people can get from a report or from, wrong visualization. I also found out that bullet points are not the visualization. Because I was like so proud of my bullet pointed reports that I was showing when I was consulting or working with brands, and I was just like putting bullet points because I thought it's easy for them to understand. And then Tim says, like in the course, it's like bullet points are not the visualization. I'm like, shit. It's like, okay, that's a great course. I also enjoyed the technical ones, like the one this guy called Dave Sotimano, which is about Google Apps Script. I liked, like the more technical ones, but everyone seemed to, to have issues with Tan and with Georgie with those two courses. But they're great, yeah. And yeah, I'm eating my own dog food. I probably like half through all the CXL courses. I'm just doing it for fun right now, just collecting Pokemons.
Nice. Yeah, I really, I can feel the feedback about the one from Georgie and Ton. I didn't do the visualization. I'm interested in that one.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Cool. I wasn't expecting the way he thought about that course. Like, it's not the geeky type of way of, like, this is what a bar chart is, this is what the pie chart. He just basically took it like from a neurological perspective of how to explain the data points. And I was very impressed with his course. And the exam was really pretty too. So yeah, that's one of my favorites. Very underrated course of CXL.
Yeah. Okay. How long are you working for CXL now? Like half a year or something?
I think it's almost 6 months soon. I started officially was on the 1st of October, but I've been starting, in mid-September, just testing the waters and dipping my toes, and it's cool. Yeah, it's a lot of pressure because, like everyone has expectations of everyone working for CXL to be like this type of marketers, and sometimes I don't feel like I'm that type of marketer.
Yeah, and at CXL, you own retention and customer lifetime value. So what do you do?
You will find me on the customer support chats a few hours per day, every day. I take customer support chats, I troubleshoot, I spend a lot of time, talking to them. It's funny when people on LinkedIn that know me find me on chats and they're like, I wasn't expecting you here. I was like, yeah, I actually am here and I do this, I work too. I do a lot of user research, I do customer interviews, and basically I'm just using customer words to build email marketing flows, to build user guides and, a better experience. The product is great, but we can do a lot better from a user experience perspective because, people change, products, like courses become outdated, we're constantly filming and refilming. But there are some stuff that can be improved with a better, onboarding into the platform, because people tend to come in and be overwhelmed because it's so much content and it's so thorough. So I found that it's easier to put them on a track, that's very personalized based on their interest. So you can recommend how they should get to where they want. And they can do that, through the mini degree. But if there's someone that wants to learn life cycle, then they have to do a bit of CRO, a bit of growth marketing, a bit of technical marketing, and so on. So this is my dilemmas these days: how to get them on the right path that serves them. Because I'm not just like these people is to take courses. Like, I'm just figuring out one day at a time. So how would I want to be helped as well?
Yeah. And I'm very curious how this works, because CXL, the agency is now Spiro, so that's spun off. So CXL is only courses, right? It's only the course platform. So I'm curious how that works, especially with retention. I can imagine that it's hard in the sense that, well, first off, there's limited supply. I mean, there's a lot of courses on there. Let's be fair. There's like 90 or something, or 100. Courses, but
courses.
There's an end, so you cannot keep people indefinitely but at some point they will run out. You are running out of courses. I mean, you can create more courses, but of course, so I guess your user research might give some insight in that on what to produce. But if people go fast, you run out of courses. And the second one is. I would guess that when people start at CXL, when you start doing courses, when I start doing courses, you start with the thing that you find the most interesting. So out of those 90, what's the most interesting thing? Because it takes quite a bit of time to go through a course or even a mini degree. It's going to take you a couple of weeks, maybe, if you go to the mini degrees. So you start with the most interesting thing. So by definition, then what's left are the less interesting courses. So it's going to take you. It's going to be harder to convince people to do the second course and the third course, and maybe the first 5 might be fine, but it's the I guess the perceived added value of each course goes down. So how do you deal with that?
Well, people come for the content, right? Yep. But they stay for the community of CXL. We have different SKUs. Like, we're a subscription business, so you can come on a monthly subscription and do what you want to do. Like, there's people that have specific goals. I just want to do this CRO mini degree. So it takes like 3 months to finish a mini degree. Realistically, we're lying. It's not 50 hours. It's like 3 months based on how. Depends on you. Like, there's people that finished all our mini degrees, but there's people that, like me, that took 4 months to finish a mini degree. So yes, of course, like, you cannot keep someone forever if it's a personal user, if it's just a person, not a company that just does courses. Our retention model, I think, fits better with companies that train their teams here, because in companies, you always hire new people. You always want, your existing employees to learn more skills. So that team model is differently more retention, customer lifetime value focused. If we think about it long term, but for short term, yes, like, people usually sit in a subscription for a year or 2. That's mostly what it is. Yeah. The good part is that we're constantly releasing courses, so people keep on being interested in what we have to do, next. And you're right, they start with what they like. That's what I did as well. It's exactly the same pattern. Like, okay, this is a lot of shit. What do I like more? And I said, okay, I like technical marketing. So I'm just going to go with technical marketing. But now I just started doing side missions, like transactional data analysis, or things that I just do for fun. But like, right now, we're going to release an e-commerce mini degree. And this e-commerce mini degree covers conversion optimization and marketplaces and technical marketing and data and analytics. So this is going to revamp basically everything that we have, and all the people that already signed up will stay, because mostly everyone will want to do this mini degree. So I think it's just a play of product, but also to keep constant, be in touch with customers, because I ask them a lot. Like, I go and I talk to them and I say, hey, would you like this course? Would you like this one? Where we just recently implemented on the lesson pages a feedback loop, where after each lesson you can say, like, what was bad, what was good, what would you like to see? So we collect this data with the product team, and then we prioritize it based on occurrence and estimate and impact, just like A/B testing. And then we start to do it. But like, the retention it's not, like, like you would consume, of course, technology, like a software that you need for 3-4 years. Of course, it's not. But you have to just be useful for that person for the time that they need you, and then they will stay in the community. They will recommend you to other people, so they become your salespeople and your own promoters if they're satisfied with the experience that they find here.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty cool business model.
Yeah. Yeah, and when I followed those courses, I saw a lot of courses indeed being replaced. I mean, of course, with everything in marketing moves really fast, and that's I guess hard to keep up as a company providing these courses. That's basically after 1 or 2 years, you can throw away everything, and you can start over again. But I've seen that happen a lot with the CXL course, so that's a good thing. But and I think that what you said is interesting. So it's indeed. Like I said, the value, the perceived value of the next course itself, like the topic might go down for you because you start with the most relevant thing for yourself, but because you do the course, you're happy with the quality and you like the community around it. That's is rising, of course. So that gives you more trust. Hey, this even. Gives you more trust that this will be adding a lot of value to your skill set.
Yeah, and also like people have the option to pause their subscription and come back when we, bring something more interesting. Like the model is very permissive, I think, for the user to decide exactly when they want to, invest and when they want to be just focusing on courses. So like there's people that are with us for a few years now, and it's just a personal subscription, so they just pause it when they don't want to learn, or they pause it when they're changing jobs, and then they just come back to it. And it's cool because like when I got hired here, I was really impressed with the community. Like I knew the community obviously from the past, but I was never like, to just be there in the middle of them and see how much people actually love this company. So it was really, really cool.
Yeah. I heard Pep talking, I think, 1-2 years ago about a different way of delivering knowledge content and doing knowledge sharing, like a more short form. Is that still being developed, or do you know anything about that? Or
we released playbooks last year. We gathered a lot of feedback. Of course, it wasn't people expected the playbooks like. Playbooks, for anyone listening, because I'm actually happy you're asking this question, is just crowdsourced learning. Imagine like GitHub for marketing. Someone comes up with a way of solving a problem, and other people should contribute to that way of solving the problem. So they commit their changes, and you pull requests, and it's basically people contributing to evergreen SOPs.
Okay, yeah.
That's what playbooks is actually.
I did know the whole GitHub and improving that part. I didn't know that. That's cool. Yeah.
That was one of the problems because people when we released it, they were expecting the same quality or high level stuff as the courses, and there it was when we did research, and my colleague that owns this project really did so many customer interviews. Like I don't know how he does it. He beat me to the pulp with interviews and research. And what we're trying to do this year is to integrate the playbooks in the subscriptions that people have. And for instance, let's say you're taking Georgie's course on statistics and you cannot remember all that stuff because it's hard. You will have a playbook that explains to you step by step in the lesson, or there, if you have any questions, you can strictly go to the community and, post them on a forum where the instructor, where people that are capacitated to answer the questions about statistics will answer. Now, that's not me, for the record. So we're just trying to basically enhance the whole learning experience, but also bring the community more, because I think this is something that the market, we failed probably to communicate to the market properly. That is just crowdsourced learning. So it's coming. We're working on it. We released it. We have a lot of people using them right now. They're, purchased every day. But I think we still have to work on getting people to contribute to, the final, shape of the SOP.
Yeah. I found it a very interesting concept. I mean, in a lot of cases, as a marketer, you feel this. You get a new project or a new task, and you think, okay, I have no idea how to solve this. I also don't necessarily have the time to do a full course for months to fix it.
Yeah.
I just want to fix this problem right now. So where to go? And we have Stack Overflow for developers.
Yeah.
But where to go as a marketeer?
Yeah, exactly. Pep talks about, just-in-time learning versus strategic learning. There's people that, have time for strategic learning and it's great, but there's people that really don't have time, especially if you're working in an agency and you know, mostly everything that you do is rinse and repeat. There's agencies that use this playbook, so they take the SOPs and, send them to their ClickUp or to their Monday or whatever they're using for project management. And then we have this Zapier integration that can, take them and they can adapt them to their business. But what we would like, of course, is for people to publicly commit changes to them and improve them. And we have seen that happening with e-commerce SOPs or analytics SOPs, the ones that are written by Simo or I don't know, Tim Wilson and so on. Like it's cool, but it's a work in progress. It's a baby. So right now, we're just trying to, I guess, get everyone to see the baby. You gotta see the baby, like in Seinfeld. Yeah.
Nice. Hey, and so you just told us you're also doing a lot of those support calls to learn what people are getting stuck with. So what are the most insightful things you got from doing that?
Well, I realized that no one sees our resource hub page. We have a page, we have an internal page if you are a paying user, which is called Resource Hub. And in the Resource Hub, you have 1,000 plus resources from all the lessons that we have. And this is frameworks, A/B testing, calculators, templates for surveys, like anything you can think of, books, ebooks. And I was talking to this guy like a week ago, and he was asking me for more, resources on statistics. People actually take George's course a lot, more than you think. And he was asking me for a statistics calculator, and I said, we have, our own A/B testing calculator, but you can also find what he suggested. So I sent him the link to the Resource Hub, and he was like, oh my God, this is the best kept secret of CXO. And then I was thinking okay, people do not see this page. So then I checked and I saw that no one actually goes to this page, and it's like a gold mine there because you can really find almost anything. So that was one of the things. And then we have a marketing intern that she's very helpful. And I asked her to go and clean up all the resources, make sure everything has images and links and it's working. So then we can start, showing this more to my son that just came in. This is for the editors. And I just did this to him. So we're fixing the resource hub on CXO to make it look pretty for all the people that we will have to probably announce about it. Another thing is I learned that it's very hard if you're doing a mini degree to move to lesson because you don't have a button that sends you to the next course or the next lesson, and you always have to go back. Which of course is not great. So we're working on this action bar that keeps people in the same loop so you don't have to, go back and forth. Yeah.
So when you're binge watching the lessons.
And it sucks because I saw it too. And we know about it, so we're trying to fix it. But it's also things that what I like is that when I do the I do email marketing a lot. That's huge part of my job. So I do always the reply to my emails. It's very personalized. This is for the personal access. For Teams, it's a whole other monster. But for personal access, all my my reply tos are going to customer support. So I see those and they get assigned to me. And I was very impressed with how many people respond to my emails. Because, for instance, in the first email, when you sign up for a trial, I told them, this is the first day of your trial. This is what you have to do. And at the end, I say, hit reply and say, hi, Juliana. And they actually do that a lot. And then I'm thinking okay, this is a good sign. You guys are engaged.
Reading
and then
the whole text.
Yeah, this is great. And then I start, because an email should be skimmable, 100%. But I'm playing with longer copy because we are known for longer copy as a company. So I'm playing and trying to go longer copy to see until, what's the extent of where I could, go. But it's very helpful for, it's very helpful.
Good. And
one second, please, to kick my son out of here. E la tine în pat, te rog frumos, sunt într-un podcast live.
Ai pus în pat?
Da. Dacă mai intru singur, o să mă enervez. He's in his underwear.
Well, that's something.
Looking for a hat.
Good combination, yeah.
Fuck. Okay,
So the actual question that we are here for to discuss, and we've touched upon it a bit already with, like I said, eating your own dog food and doing those courses. The question, I guess, a pet peeve from your side. Why aren't we focusing on understanding our products before optimizing for sales and marketing? So. Take the stage, Juliana. Where do you want to start?
I mean, I think it really sucks if you, imagine this, you're in a marketing team, you have, your sales team, you have the demand generation, the content marketing, you have all the pieces to the puzzle. But then, because you're so focused on lifting metrics and showing to your leadership that you're, doing things, you don't actually focus on the basic stuff that you should be starting with. And it's really pissing me off because I see a very contradictory approach in the market, especially from companies that I really know, which sucks because when you know someone, you know the actual, shit under their rug. And you see the fact that they are not in tune with the product, or they're not in tune with the market, or they're not in tune with the needs of the market that they're trying to serve. And then, of course, the messaging and the positioning that comes out doesn't, make sense. It's totally opposite. And I think we are so focused and desperate for popularity these days, and I'm guilty of that too. Like, I've been guilty. I thought if I'm going to become popular in e-commerce last year, I'm going to be the shit, but it wasn't the case. Like, maybe I am less irrelevant than I was 3 years ago, but it didn't translate for me having money in the bank or anything. Like, it's just bullshit. So I think because we're so focused as marketers right now to win a popularity content on social media, we're just writing stuff out of our asses or talking about stuff out of our asses, but we don't actually spend time learning and doing the basic stuff that we should be doing as marketers. So the fact that people that are selling products do not spend time understanding the product is really, really bad. And I think, we have this romantic view of retention and marketing, both retention and marketing, when everything is about the customer, and everything is about what the customer wants and psychology, but actually it's a lot about the product too, because like if you don't know what you're selling or what you're marketing, where are those customers? They just want everything. So
I use an image in many of my presentations that says it's better to make stuff that people want than to make people want stuff. And that's that's basically what you're saying, right? I mean, make sure that the product aligns with the needs of your user. Make sure that the combination is really good.
Yeah, and actually use it, because once you use a product and you develop like an intimate relationship to know all the bad things and the good things of it, you will know how to market it better or how to get out of situations. And I'm honest enough to give you an example. I knew that we had some issues with an exam on a course, but it's archived. So because, I couldn't actually fix it because it was a bug that was above my level of intelligence, I did fix it in the end. But at that moment, I just learned like to work around it, and I told the customer what to do to get, to move on. And the customer was like, "Oh my God, like no one ever did this." It's like, because you wouldn't expect someone on a customer support chat to say, "Hey, listen, just do this and move on. You'll be fine." then I obviously fix the problem with the exam. But if it was someone else that doesn't know the product and didn't encounter that issue before, it would have been very hard to help that person, and that creates frustration and creates, a lot of friction. So it's the same when you're trying to position yourself in the market or take a product to market. If you don't really understand what you have to deal with, and like where does it start and where does it end, you're just selling, dreams and maybe unicorn, I call it pompous unicorn shit, but it's real. And I think everyone that represents a product should be should evangelize that product and understand, like everyone in the company should be a product evangelist. Doesn't matter what you're doing, besides just being a customer evangelist, because I think we're romanticizing the customer thing too much, and I don't think customers are as loyal as we want them to think. We want to think they are. Like, they're not.
Yeah. And I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate here then, and say, well, but hey,
do it.
Me as a marketer, I work for this agency, or I just got hired with this company, and the agency, the agency gets paid by the hour, and they pay me to send those emails. They pay me to optimize the websites. They don't pay me to do user research or play around with the product for half a year first. And they have like quarterly goals. So I need to get this out now. I don't have the time to send this out. So please, Juliana, help me.
This is a super common thing. Like, this is reality, what you're saying right now. But I guess my question is like, okay, so where does the strategy come from when you're doing these emails? Like, what type of ammo you have as a marketer to write, an email flow or create a checkout experience? If you're doing, conversion optimization, like, you need some sort of intel. Otherwise, of course, you can Google templates for email onboarding. You can Google, A/B testing ideas. You just
or go to the CXL Resource Hub.
Go to the CXL Resource Hub. You will find thousands of ideas. But again, you have to understand your business model. And I know this is a very good point. In agencies, I think the biggest problem that I've seen, because you gave me this example, is the lack of accountability when it comes to documentation and processes. I think if an agency focuses enough, or the leadership of an agency focuses enough on building processes and resources allocation and documenting everything that they're doing, any person that comes in that agency can go to their own internal, SOPs and, processes and just follow them. But like, if you don't have those in an agency, you're more deeper problem than you think, than, just having issues writing an email flow. Like, this is a huge problem, and it happens throughout all marketing agencies, because of course you're busy, so you don't have time to write SOPs. But it sucks, and I've seen this, fail so many times, and it happens in software companies. It happens in any company. Like, it's a
management issue, right? I mean, there's way more fixing a problem or being busy fixing a problem is much higher evaluated than actually trying to understand the problem or see, is this actually the problem that we're trying to solve?
Yeah, 100%. I think better resource allocation and processes can save your ass a lot of time. Because again, like, all we do in marketing is rinse and repeat. All we do. Like, there's no stroke of, originality or genius. Like, I think, for now, mostly everything that we do has been done before. I think what differentiates what we're doing as marketers, or maybe this is just me that I think like this, I think it's just the way we look at, what we have in front of us. Like, okay, we understand this business model of the company that we're working for. We understand their unit economics, which are very important. We understand the product. And we have a clear view of the objectives. Okay, and I have gathered all this general experience over years to do stuff that I just know how to do. But what's going to be different is how I'm going to apply all my learnings to your use case. This is how, things are different. But in terms of, marketing strategy, everything is rinse and repeat. So I think it's a shame for agencies or companies that have a marketing team to not focus in building their internal SOPs system.
I'm curious. So if we if we're able to do this or want to apply this, I think that works. This is relatively easy to apply to B2C products. I mean, we're all a customer in some way. But how would you apply that when you as the marketeer or the CRO specialist in that company, when you are by far not the customer, not the user of that product? If you create like B2B software, how do you as a marketer do that? Or if you maybe are in B2C but sell so high end, I don't know, Ferraris, and you as a CRO specialist don't have the salary to buy a Ferrari, how do you manage that? How do you cope with those situations?
I mean, again, you can do user research, you can do customer interviews. I mean, user research is my answer to anything. I know it's hard and I know it costs a lot of money and it takes time.
Well, it's cheaper than fixing a problem that's not there.
Yeah, I mean, you can always do this. You can always buy from yourself, unless it's a Ferrari, that's gonna be hard. But I think if you're selling Ferraris, I think you can create some sort of, coupon code, and you don't just get the Ferrari per se, but you go through the experience at least. So like there's, workarounds around anything. I just think you need to put yourself in the customer shoes and deal with like eating your own dog food or drinking your champagne, where the case is. And like, for instance, another example that I can give you in full honesty, this is like something practical that we do. We just, again, I told you, implemented this feedback loops on lessons. So then I went today and I told the customer success team, like, hey, go through all these flows and then write macros. So when customers come and, complain or bring some issues, teach them, educate them how to give us feedback so we can actually fix this faster. So they need to understand how it works first before they go and advise the customer on how to do this on their own, because it takes time. It's that education piece. But this is just about spending time with understanding what you're doing. And I guess when I was younger, good times. When I was younger and I was just getting started, and I come from a product background, like full product background. I started doing sales as everyone else in the business. I just started doing sales, but then I liked product so much. Then I just someone crazy as fuck gave me a chance to be a product owner after I just worked only in sales. When I did a great job, but not as good as I would have done it with this brain. But what I learned back then, because I was working only with developers and sysadmins, is that you have to identify yourself with the problem before fixing it. And the more time passed, and the more things I've learned, I've noticed that it's the same when it comes to conversion optimization, to personalization, to product marketing, to anything. You have to identify with the problem that you're having, and then you have to create you have to formulate that problem. It's very important to know how to formulate a problem. I think that can change so many things if you know how to correctly voice the problem that you're trying to solve. And then you have to create a plan with steps on how would you like to solve that problem, like having that clarity. So I guess when I took that mindset, and the more I see and the more I learn, because I'm learning a lot of stuff, like I don't know half of the shit that I think I should know, but I'm learning them. But this type of mindset has helped me become a very clean worker, document what I do, explain, be over. I just give tons of explanations that I don't give, that I shouldn't give, but I just want to be thorough with it. And I think this way, having this mindset can really help you as a marketer do better or, do excellent stuff. And I've been telling this story a lot. When I first started here, Pep told me, because I was freaking out about working with Pep, it's Pep. I was like, fuck, who am I? I'm no one. I work for him. I was shitting myself. And I asked him, I was just asking him about the most random stuff. I was feeling bad. I was texting him on Slack. And he said one day, he was like, listen, it's very simple. If it's not excellent, don't do it. I'm like, shit. That's a very short, it's like, there's no pressure. So, but when he told that to me, it just rang back to this, troubleshooting mindset. So yeah, like if it's excellent, don't do it. That's the standard. But like excellence work requires a lot of implication and investment of yourself as a person. And like, yeah, of course, some stuff is easy to do, like an abandoned cart flow, for instance. It's super simple to do. You can play with stuff. Like, for instance, the abandoned cart that I did for CXO, we didn't have one before, but I did one because I like abandoned carts. And I think it's a good way to nudge people. I made it text only. If you look at e-commerce, it's just all these lights and, arcade, and e-commerce companies are capable of putting a spin the wheel in the car too, if they could, if they would do that. But I made the text only, and it worked very well. It's producing revenue for the company, and I didn't have to think very deeply about how I should do that because it's a very simple thing. But when it comes to do customer journey mapping or an onboarding flow or like a user guide on how to use the platform, there is where you have to really spend time researching and not just, I think it's at the end of the day, because I feel like I've been talking my ass off right now. It's just because I'm passionate about this. I think at the end of the day, it's having a clear understanding of the difference between tactics and strategy. Like if you want to do strategy, you have to spend more time thinking. If you want to do tactics, you can do them. It's fine. Everyone does it. But it's the strategic thinking that should be more nurtured, I guess, for every one of us.
Yeah, and stimulated by management. Give your people time to take a deep breath, take a step back. Yeah.
Exactly,
what are the things that you're going to work on the next, say, 12 months at CXO?
Well, I hope that I'm gonna fix some pages that I think
and make them excellent.
I need to do excellent work. Yeah. What I plan to do is to we have the Teams SKU right now, and I want to make sure that I help them. I help team members and teams to create a roadmap for their learning, and I want to find a way to automate. Helping them create the best learning environment for their employees. I think when you onboard new employees, I think besides the fact that you have to teach them about your product and how things works in your company, I think it's very important to teach them about the industry and market that you're in. So because this is missing in a lot of companies, I think we can support them with that and just explain how the industry is, how the market is. So this is what I'm working on right now, and I'm excited about. It's a monster of a project. It's a monster of project because the tech stack at CXL is super intimidating. I got scared. Imagine I came from knowing Shopify and Klaviyo to all this enterprise software that's here, and I'm like, fuck. And everything that I do has to be very mapped out and very logic, so it can get approved by the RevOps team, and, the technical team, and it's scary and frustrating a lot of times. But it's everyone wants to do excellent stuff. I think that's the funny part.
Once in place.
It's everyone wants to do great stuff, and I'm just super overwhelmed about, how much people actually love this company. I never worked for a company that's so loved. And it's crazy. Never
nice,
experienced this before. Yeah, it's the CXO users are really the best. I've never seen anything like that. And caring, I got people sending me messages, just ask me how I am. I'm like, damn, why would you care? But people are just nice, and I've never experienced anything like that. So what Pep built is really, really awesome.
Nice. Yeah. Final thing I want to ask you, you had a reading tip for us, a book.
Yeah, I was talking to Bob Moesta, the daddy of Jobs to be Done. That's how I called him. You should actually follow Bob Moesta. He gave me these books to read when we talked the last time. And one of them was The End of Average by Todd Rose. I'm a fan of Todd Rose. He actually wrote another book called Dark Horse, which is very good. But this one with End of Average is it's not a CRO book, right? But it talks about averages a lot, and it explains where they come from and how averages are just trying to make to standardize how people think and how people are. And it's, if you think about it, it's sort of similar to, metrics and what we're calculating and what are the things that we're looking for when we're growing our business. But I think if you want to read this book, what you will learn is about how we are trying to standardize humans from the moment they're born until they're old. Because everyone has to, go through school, go to a job, find a job, climb the corporate ladder, pay your bills, and, retire. Like, it just talks about how linear we want, humans to be. And that, we're basically killing individuality by always comparing someone with the average. So it's pretty cool book that if
Nice.
you like crazy stuff like this, you might enjoy. Yeah.
I added it to my library in Audible, so I'll be looking forward to that. So thank you for the tip. Yeah, and maybe we can do an interview next time with Tim Wilson. Talk about data presentation and visualization.
Oh my God,
I'm
have
not sure
him.
if that's going to work in podcast format because it's not really visual. But we see if we can make that happen. It will be. Might be a nice one.
He is fantastic. I've never heard nobody talk about reports like that in my life.
Nice. Juliana, thank you so much. Our time is up. Love talking to you. I feel like we could be talking for 5 hours, but we have that somewhere. We have to go to our next meetings. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.